Tamar's story in the Bible is a profound narrative that unfolds in the Old Testament, prominently featured in the book of Genesis, particularly in chapter 38. Tamar, the daughter-in-law of Judah, finds herself in a vulnerable position after being widowed twice. In a desperate bid for justice and continuation of her husband's lineage, she disguises herself and conceives twins with Judah, her father-in-law. This story is significant as it highlights themes of justice, gender roles, and social norms in ancient times, offering a lens through which to view broader societal issues. Understanding Tamar's story is crucial because it underscores the resilience required to navigate oppressive structures. The narrative challenges the patriarchal norms of its time, illustrating how women, often marginalized, found ways to exert agency. Tamar's actions, though controversial, ultimately lead to the birth of Perez, an ancestor of King David, linking her directly to the lineage of Jesus Christ. This connection imbues her tale with theological importance, illustrating how seemingly unremarkable or scandalous events in biblical history can contribute to divine plans. For instance, in modern discussions about women's rights and empowerment, Tamar's story is often cited as an early example of a woman challenging societal boundaries. Her determination and cunning highlight the lengths to which women of that era went to secure their rights, thus serving as a powerful symbol of female agency. In literature and art, Tamar's narrative has been explored as a representation of survival against societal injustices, providing inspiration for works that depict the struggle for gender equality. Nevertheless, Tamar's story is not without its controversies. Some interpretations debate the morality of her actions, viewing her deception as problematic rather than empowering. These readings often reflect broader cultural and theological disagreements on the role of women in religious texts. Others argue that Tamar's story is emblematic of the flaws within the patriarchal system of the time, prompting discussions about the need for reform and progress. The introduction to Tamar's story sets the stage for exploring themes of justice, resilience, and redemption. It provides a foundation for understanding how personal triumphs can emerge from tragedy, influencing both the biblical narrative and contemporary conversations on gender and power dynamics. By examining Tamar's actions and their repercussions, we gain insights into the complex interplay of societal norms and individual agency, highlighting the enduring relevance of her story in modern discourse. Tamar's family and heritage provide a crucial backdrop to her story, setting the stage for both the tragedy and triumph that unfolds in the biblical narrative. Tamar was a member of the royal family, the daughter-in-law of Judah, one of the 12 sons of Jacob, whose descendants formed the tribes of Israel. This familial connection to Judah places Tamar within a lineage that is central to the history of the Israelites, and by extension, significant in the context of biblical history. The heritage of Judah, a key figure in the establishment of the tribe of Judah, which later became the Kingdom of Judah, highlights both the power and the pressure that Tamar would have faced within this influential family. Understanding Tamar's family context is critical to appreciating her story's significance. Her tale is not just a personal tragedy, but also a reflection of the broader social and familial dynamics of the time. In an era where a family's honor and lineage were paramount, Tamar's circumstances, being widowed twice and left childless, represented not just personal loss, but a threat to her and her family's future legacy. Her determination to secure her place and progeny within Judah's lineage speaks to her resilience and courage, traits that ultimately lead to her triumph. Real-world applications of Tamar's context can be found in the continuing struggles faced by women to assert their rights and secure their futures within patriarchal societies. The persistence and ingenuity Tamar displayed resonate with modern narratives of women's empowerment and the fight for gender equality. Additionally, Tamar's story serves as a cautionary tale about the consequences of neglecting familial and social responsibilities, demonstrating how these dynamics can have ripple effects through generations. Support for the deep examination of Tamar's background comes from various biblical scholars who argue that understanding her family ties and societal position is essential for a comprehensive interpretation of her story. They suggest that Tamar's actions should be seen within the context of her desperation and limited options available to women at the time. However, Tamar's story is not without controversy. Some interpretations question the ethics of her actions, using deception to achieve her goals, thus sparking debates on morality and justice. Others view Tamar as a victim of a flawed system, forced to take extreme measures to survive. Ultimately, Tamar's family and heritage intertwine with the broader themes of justice, redemption, and survival in her narrative, influencing her actions and the eventual acknowledgement of her righteousness by Judah himself. This context reinforces the enduring relevance of her story and its lessons. The concept introduced in The Tragic Events and Tamar's Violation centers on a harrowing narrative found in the Bible, specifically in 2 Samuel 13. Tamar, the daughter of King David, is subjected to a grave injustice. She is violated by her half-brother Amnon. This event is not just a personal tragedy for Tamar, but a catalyst for turmoil within David's family and the broader implications of unchecked desire and power dynamics. Tamar's violation is a poignant and distressing reminder of the vulnerability of women in patriarchal societies, both ancient and modern. The significance of this point in relation to the main topic cannot be overstated. It sets the stage for understanding Tamar's eventual triumph over her trauma, highlighting her strength and resilience. It also serves as an indictment of societal structures that allow such violations to occur, thereby prompting discussions about justice, retribution, and healing. Tamar's story is a powerful testament to the enduring impact of violence against women and the necessity for societal change. Two real-world applications that illustrate this point include the Nasser Me Too movement, which sheds light on the prevalence of sexual violence and the courage required to speak out against it. Similarly, the ongoing discussions about systemic reforms in the justice system highlight the need for more robust support for survivors of sexual violence. Both examples reflect the enduring relevance of Tamar's tragic story and her symbolic representation of resilience and the quest for justice. Opinions supporting the idea emphasize the importance of acknowledging Tamar's suffering as a necessary first step towards societal change. Many scholars argue that giving voice to Tamar's story helps illuminate the broader issue of gender-based violence and the need for empathy and action. However, potential challenges and controversies arise when interpreting Tamar's story. Some argue that the biblical text reflects a historical context vastly different from modern values, potentially complicating its application today. Others debate the ethical implications of using religious texts to advocate for contemporary social issues, fearing misinterpretation or oversimplification. This point is deeply connected to and influences other aspects of the main topic, particularly Tamar's eventual triumph. Understanding the depth of her violation sets the stage for her resilience and serves as a powerful narrative of overcoming adversity. It challenges audiences to reflect on the lingering effects of such trauma and inspires a commitment to advocate for those who have suffered similar injustices. The tragic events of Tamar's life are both a somber reminder of past injustices and a call to action for future change, weaving into the broader tapestry of her narrative triumph. Tamar's response and the initial aftermath of her tragic story in the Bible, as depicted in 2 Samuel 13, form a poignant chapter in her life narrative. The concept introduced here revolves around Tamar's reaction to her violation by her half-brother Amnon and the immediate consequences that shaped her path to eventual triumph. Her response is marked by deep sorrow and a symbolic action of tearing her robe, expressing profound mourning and loss of dignity. This moment is pivotal, as it not only highlights the personal trauma Tamar endures, but also underscores the broader themes of injustice and silence surrounding victims of such crimes. The significance of this point lies in its illumination of societal responses to sexual violence, both in biblical times and today. Tamar's initial aftermath underscores the silence imposed on victims, a theme that resonates with modern conversations around victim blaming and the struggle for justice. Her brother Absalom's advice to remain silent and King David's failure to take action mirror the systemic neglect often faced by victims, offering a stark reflection on the need for change and advocacy. In the real world, Tamar's story finds parallels in movements like Me Too, which empower victims to break the silence and demand accountability. Her experience also echoes in advocacy work that supports victims of sexual violence, highlighting the continued need for safe spaces and comprehensive legal frameworks that champion victim rights. Supporting opinions emphasize Tamar's narrative as a catalyst for change. Scholars and activists advocate using her story as a tool for educating communities about consent and the importance of listening to and believing victims. However, challenges arise in addressing such themes within religious texts, where interpretations can vary widely. Some may argue about the applicability of ancient stories to modern contexts, or worry about the potential for re-traumatizing survivors in religious settings. Tamar's response and its aftermath connect to her larger story of triumph by laying the groundwork for her eventual empowerment. Though initially silenced, Tamar's legacy persists as a figure who inspires resilience and transformation. Her narrative serves as a testament to the human spirit's ability to rise above adversity, influencing broader discussions about justice, advocacy, and the power of voice in the face of oppression. This connection enriches our understanding of her story not just as one of tragedy, but as a journey toward triumph and societal reflection.